Hey, everybody, Asia Davis here. And what I want to talk to you about today is New Year's resolutions. All right, so how many of you make a resolution for New Year's? Raise your hand. All right, so how many of you have made a resolution for the new year and have never actually completed it? Right? So maybe after the first week you're going strong, and then after that, no matter what you decided to do, it just kind of falls off the track. And by the end of January, maybe the end of February, if you're lucky, you've probably already forgotten about it. Right? So if that sounds like you, keep listening because I'm going to tell you why it never actually works. Okay? So the reason why I never make New Year's resolutions, and I encourage you to stop right now, okay, is because a couple of things. First thing, when you're making a resolution, you are making a decision to change, right? And when you're making a decision to change, what you're doing is you're usually trying to do something better, do something different, or do more of something, right? So maybe it's you want to eat better, maybe you want to exercise more, maybe you want to I don't know, make more money, right? But the problem with that is that when you're just trying to change and you've never dealt with the underlying reasons, the underlying, I don't even want to say issues, but the underlying stuff, we'll call it crap for now, that has you wanting to make this resolution in the first place. And so essentially what you're doing is you're just trying to build something new on top of a pile of crap, right? And so what happens is this pile of crap, which you've been building on for years, right? So maybe you're 35, like I'm 36 years old. Like when you do that, you're just trying to make a change on top of, you know, decades of crap. And so what happens, right? Just like a landfill, right? Or just say like a stinky diaper, right? Like eventually, if you don't clean it up, the smell is going to come through. And this is exactly what happens when people try to make New Year's resolutions, right? They're trying to make changes on top of things that are already kind of sucky, right? That aren't working for you in the first place, which is why you want to make the resolution at all, right? Because something about your life isn't going well. Something about your life you want to make different or better. And so we're taught in our society that, oh, we're just going to, if you change it, if you do something different, if you do more of something, you're going to get different results. But that's not the case, right? And what's interesting about this is that people continue to do this year after year, right? And so when you continue to do something over and over again, but you expect different results, that's actually the definition of insanity, right? So if you think about it, making New Year's resolutions, the way that the majority of the human population makes resolutions is actually insane, okay? So, another reason, number two, why I never make New Year's resolutions, right? It's because it's already, when you make a resolution, you're wanting to create something new in a new year, but it's already based off of what's happening in your past, right? So stick with me here. When you make a resolution, all right, it's already based on what is there's an idea that you want to change, but it's based off of what has already been occurring for you, right? So automatically you are bringing your past into what you're trying to create as a future. And when you're bringing your past with you, it's literally like taking like you're on a ball and chain, right? It's like trying to create something new, even though you've got this giant boulder attached at your ankle, right? No wonder you're not getting anywhere, right? Because you have this giant boulder of a past that you're kind of lugging along to get with you to get into a new future, right? And so it's virtually impossible, right? It's virtually impossible to create a new, better, different future that lasts, right? When you're chained to the past, right? When you're bringing your past with you into the new year, right? So, first of all, consider this, right? When you're making a New Year's resolution, the idea that you have to wait until January 1st in the next year is already a constraint. It's already a constraint. And what that does is it allows you to continue, to give yourself permission to continue living as you are until a specific arbitrary date, right? It's absolutely arbitrary. We just decided as a society that that in the new year, we're gonna make, everything's gonna be completely different, right? But it's not gonna be different unless you're different, right? In order for you to get different, you gotta cut that ball and chain, right? You gotta cut yourself, you gotta cut off your past, right? And the only way to really cut off your past is to heal it, right? And to do that, you got to look at it, right? And a lot of times that's hard for people. Like a lot of times we want to forget all the bad things, we want to wash it away, but I'll tell you, it never actually goes away, right? It's really interesting. I work with a friend of mine, and he's a healer, and he's like a physical therapist, but a really different kind of physical therapist. And he always says, the mind forgets, but the body remembers. And that is so true, right? When we try to forget our past, when we try to forget all the things or kind of just wash away everything that we don't like about our life, then it doesn't actually go away, right? All we're doing is we're just pulling the shade down, so to speak, and hoping that as long as we don't look at it, it'll disappear. But that's not how it works, right? In order to release yourself from the past, all right, and this goes with anything, you gotta look at it, all right? As long as you're not looking at it, it has power over you, right? You're gonna carry it with you, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, all right? It's kind of like the monster underneath your bed when you're a little kid, right? Or in your closet. And I remember being little, and I used to be so afraid that there was a monster or something in my closet, and I was like, my doors have to be closed, right? Like, have to close the door because I didn't want to look, I didn't want to see. And in my mind, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I try and hide under the covers, but it never actually went away. But when did it go away? Right? When I would open the closet doors and see that nothing was there. And so that's what you have to be willing to do if you really want to not change, but transform yourself in 2020. Okay, you got to be willing to look at what's going on in your past, being willing to see it, being willing to own it, being willing to take responsibility for it. All right, and then, only then, are you able to create from a place of purity, of clarity, right? Of nothing. I call it this place of nothingness, right? And when you're in this place of nothingness, then you no longer have this ball and chain attached to you of your whole past, this boulder coming with you. You're nothing. You're beginning new. And then from there, you actually have a chance to fulfill the goal or accomplish what it is that you're looking to accomplish. All right? So I say all this to say, if you're serious about making a change this year, and I use change very lightly because I think change is a false idea. What you're really looking to do is transform, right? To alchemize, to shift your entire paradigm. Then don't look to change, right? You want to make sure that you let go of your past, right? That you look at it, all right, and then create from a space of nothing. Right? And then the ground is fertile. Then you can actually make a change. Then you can actually transform, and you have a chance at accomplishing your goals. All right, so let me know in the comments below what your New Year's resolution was, or what you usually make as a resolution in the each year. All right, and whether you've accomplished it or not. Let me know if this was helpful, if maybe what you saw, what you got out of this. All right, again, my name is Asia Davis, and I'll talk to you soon.